the Thursday night football, Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks. Let me just hit you with this. We know the Seattle Seahawks, as I said, look, we're in week 11. At this point, if we're waiting for the defenses to show up, they're not showing up. You're basically putting bubble gum on to stick two things together. You're plugging holes in the dam. The Seattle Seahawks defense is not going to be a dominant defense this year. This is all about getting to the finish line and doing what you can. The Arizona Cardinals, to me, right now, honestly speaking, and I did pick before the season the Seattle Seahawks to make it to the Super Bowl for the NFC. The Arizona Cardinals are the better team right now, but the Seattle Seahawks are the more experienced team. So I'm really curious to see what we're going to get. It's a short week. I think experience-wise, it goes towards Seattle. I still like Seattle's offense a little bit better when Chris Carson is in the lineup. It's no secret that Seattle has lost 2 games in a row with Chris Carson out. He makes a big deal, although I do like Collins a little bit more than the other guys that they had going there. Arizona Cardinals, fantastic win yesterday. That Hail Mary, I mean, that ball, really, I mean, if you're Buffalo, you could not have defensed that any better. I watched that so many times, you couldn't have done it. That ball was 1 inch in any direction. That is an incomplete pass. DeAndre Hopkins.
Did you hear the interview by DeAndre Hopkins?
Tell me.
He said, what you call that is getting dunked on. And let me quote him. He says, they were in the right position. It was just a better catch by eye. That's what he said.
Oh, my goodness. He's... Look, when Antonio Brown was doing this kind of stuff, and I'm not equating the two at all, but like you know how it is, like the wide receiver who gets a little bit mouthy and all that. Odell Beckham, when he does, when these guys do that, it usually bugs me. But DeAndre Hopkins, I've been seeing this for about 5 years. Like when their starting quarterback went out, and DeAndre Hopkins is still putting up numbers with T.J. Yates throwing him the ball. I'm like, this dude's the best receiver in the league. With respect to the other guys, look, I love DK Metcalf. I love Devontae Adams. I respect to these other guys. DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the league because he can produce with crap at quarterback. The other guys can't. With, again, respect to DK Metcalf, we haven't seen, who's that back up there? The Geno Smith. We haven't seen Geno Smith throw him the ball or anything like that, right? But what I'm saying is, like, just phenomenal. Phenomenal catch.
I don't know. I think he's worth maybe a second-round pick in David Johnson.
maybe Houston. Oh my gosh, Houston fans probably like, first of all, you lay an egg against Cleveland. I think Houston probably should have won that game. They didn't. They lay an egg against Houston. Then you got to see in the afternoon games DeAndre Hopkins do that. Fantastic. But back to the game. Look, Arizona Cardinals, their defense is a lot better than I thought they'd be. I said this last week. I thought the Seattle Seahawks defense this year would be at or a little bit better where the Arizona Cardinals were playing at today. The Arizona Cardinals, now I believe the Rams and the Seahawks are all at 3 losses. The NFC West is getting murky. Frankly, I wish this was the Sunday night game and not the Thursday night game. I hate putting a game of this significance with 2 great teams on Thursday night in a short week. I hate that, but it is what it is, and it's a great way to start the week if you're a fan. Let me get you with the fantasy football projections. Look, I have this projected. The analytics have this projected as an offensive matchup, like a lot of points. My gut's telling me it's going to be a little bit closer to the 20s, but I'll just give you my analytics. Both Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson's your slam dunk starts. I might have them both in the top 5 in terms of quarterbacks this week. I don't love the running backs for Arizona, but I do love the receivers, specifically DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk this week. Although I think Larry Fitzgerald does okay, I don't think he produces as much as the other 2 guys. Nobody else for Arizona. Seattle, whoever the starting running back is, I do like this week. We'll see who that is. For the receivers, Lockett, Metcalf, you start both of them. I tend to like Lockett a little bit more this week than Metcalf analytically, and then I kind of stay away from tight end there. I think it'll be more about guys like Swain and David Moore stepping up than tight end this week. Take it away, David.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get Chris Carson back.
Thank goodness.
This week, even though it's on a short week. The last thing I read was that.
Yeah.
I saw the words absolutely. He'll absolutely be playing this week. So that's good news, especially for the Seahawks offense that has cooled off considerably the past 2 weeks. It looks like they really need Chris Carson. He stabilizes that offense with his tough, rugged running. We talked about it last week. The fact he's able to just gain yardage on every attempt. They've been missing that, and it's been kind of slowing everything down, including in the passing game as well. As far as the Cardinals, Kenyon Drake's back, but I don't think you're playing him this week.
Right.
We already saw these 2 teams play a few weeks ago, in that first matchup, Kenyon Drake had just 14 carries for 34 yards, 1 reception for 7 yards. Again, this was the game he got hurt, but 14 for 34, that's not good. Chase Edmonds is probably going to be the play this week over Kenyon Drake. If you have both, I'd probably start Edmonds over Drake. The first matchup, we saw Edmonds 5 for 58 rushing. It was that 7 for 87 receiving that really made the difference for Edmonds. And again, probably going to see a little bit more of a shootout. If Arizona plays them ahead, maybe Kenyon Drake gets more touches.
Yeah.
But I still think you got to project more of a Chase Edmonds game this week. Across the board, you really know what to do with the rest of the guys. Lockett obviously had his huge blow-up game.
Right.
The first time they played, I believe he scored like 50-something points. Metcalf had a dud. You can't sit him though, so it is what it is. Unless you're really a risk taker, I'm not going that far. I got to play DK Metcalf. And I think one more guy who needs mentioning is Christian Kirk, who had 5 for 37 and 2 touchdowns the first time they played. So he's definitely a start this week as well.
Yep, absolutely. Let me just get you with the what a game to start. I wish this was the Monday or Sunday night game, but it is what it is. But at least it's in prime time, everybody. You know, Arizona, according to Bovada, +3 versus Seattle. Who do you have?
I just don't believe Seattle is going to be this bad for this long, especially for Chris Carson coming back. I think it's going to be more of a must-win game for Seattle than a must-win for Arizona. So I'm going to take Seattle here.
You know, I'm going, first of all, Seattle's at home, and I do have this as a 3-point game. That's what I projected. I think I have it projected 27-24 or something like that. I can't remember the exact score, but, you know, I think this is right on the push line. I certainly stay away from it. Like I said to begin this, I do believe Arizona is the better football team today, but Seattle's experience, you know, Russell Wilson's leadership, assuming they get Chris Carson back, because that's a big one for me. As I've talked about in recent weeks, I'm just a bigger buyer on Carson than most of the other people. He's not the sexiest fantasy football player, but he's so consistent and he brings a toughness to that run game. Assuming he's back, I'll take Seattle in my pick. I stay away from it in my bet. I do think Arizona, are they on the cusp? This is the question to me. Is Arizona ready to really make a deep playoff run mentally? Because they have all the pieces they need. They have the coaching. Are they ready to take that next step? And that's a mental step. And I'm giving the edge right now to Seattle, but I'm willing to be proven wrong, Arizona Cardinals fans. So Cardinals fans, Seahawks fans, comment below. Tell me who's going to win this game. Predict the score. Tell us, because David and I both picked Seattle. So Cardinals fans, tell us why we're wrong. Seattle fans, tell us why we're right. Can't wait for this game. Next game on the list, David.